Hello everyone and welcome back to Chaos Counseling with... there goes the apple. Yes, that's what this game is called now. There goes the apple.
The apple.
No, I just got a new sword. Of course I'm sticking with the fighter. It's nice and curved. Check out the curvature of my sword. Meteors! Can I get another one? Thank you. Okay, whichever person is up there dropping his bloody boogers can just fuck right off.
No.
Get off my tight butt.
But I don't wanna.
I'm going to stab you. Physics has no meaning for warriors such as I. Oh, so... Yeah, I don't remember what I was going to say, so I won't.
Okay, it'd be like that sometimes.
Ah! No! No hugs! Oh, wow, that... Don't step on the green shit, that hurt. Okay, the way it's flashing its belly, it kind of... It kind of reminds me of the villain from Oracle of Ages. Believe it or not, I don't actually remember what her name is. As much as I love Ages and Seasons, I legitimately do not remember what the two villains who aren't Ganon and Twinrova's name is.
I think one was called Onyx.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think I only remembered that because as a kid I'm like, that's a Pokemon! Because I'm sure everyone as a kid was like, things couldn't have similar names or the same name. It's like, it's all or nothing. Like,
Woo!
jeez, with all those spiders falling out of the tree, it was like the beginning of arachnophobia.
That's not good.
It's the Great Deku Tree! Oh, wait, it really is the Great Deku Tree.
Red Trainers are on the castle, but we'll take this with you.
Well, my shield's blue now, so... The castle! Dun dun dun! Oh!
Whoops.
Yeah, well...
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yep. What, going off prematurely? Firing squad! And again! Shoot. My defense, I didn't see that one coming.
Beat the lizard people.
You know, these lizard... I mean, okay, I know these are pretty generic lizard people, but they kind of remind me of the lizard people's design from Lost Kingdom.
Yeah.
But again, those were a pretty generic lizard people design as well. So, it's not that hard to do. You know, Lost Kingdoms is one of those games that I definitely think were pretty good and solid games for the time, but I can't truly say it was like a hidden gem or anything, you know? Just because, oh man, that first game, that was so bloody hard. And the fact that you just couldn't casually run away from a fight without, you know, losing your most powerful cards. For those wondering, Lost Kingdom was a game for the GameCube where It was kind of during that fad. I want to say, I think it was popularized by stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Pokemon trading card game being very popular with people. So some games actually used cards for combat. Mm-hmm. I mean, heck, I think there was even a game called Eye of Judgment for the PlayStation 2 or 3, which was straight up like you just plugged in a deck or a field thingamadoodle into your PlayStation, and then you'd put cards on. Yeah, look up Eye of Judgment for the PlayStation on YouTube. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, the problem is just because it was a card game-based combat, and it wasn't the best card game-based combat out there.
Ooh, I got a red hammer!
Nice. It didn't play the greatest. And again, just one of the big things that held it back was just the first game's difficulty. The second game was beatable, especially since it kind of allowed you to free roam and take the game at your own pace. That just also kind of came with its own set of issues. Dick move, brosif. You know you've progressed far when the boss monsters are showing up as normal NPC or normal enemies.
Yep.
Okay, give us the finger. Thank you. So, have you gotten any new video games for your Switch, Sunshine?
Yeah, no, that's about it. I had that last week.
Right. Have you checked out that game Snake Pass that I recommended?
Yeah, it's just not for me.
Fair enough. But he's got a snake!
No, yeah, the animation isn't super adorable, it's just not my kind of game.
Yep. Then you should definitely check out Octodad. Oh, so funny story. Around the time Octodad, the Dadliest Catch came out, there was that whole Octomom thing. For those who don't know, yeah, it was a interesting bit of why that was going on in America at the time. So when I asked a friend if he'd heard of Octodad, he's like, ugh, I've heard of Octomom. What the hell's Octodad? I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? And he reminded me. I'm like, no, Octodad is a game. It's a rage game, admittedly, but it's a game. Nice.
Woo! I did it. I defeated the Black Knight.
That's not John Cleese. What are you talking about? Alright, what are you doing? Princess Mary from the fortress has been abducted by monsters. Won't you go with me to help save her, and I will never be seen again?
Yep.
I've got a feeling the big Bowser-esque castle up there is the final level.
Yep. Ooh. This shield has yellow on it.
Yeah, so, yep. My shield has pink eye.
That's... What's it? Pink eye? That's unsanitary!
Shut up, Buena girl.
No.
It also has like pupil extensions on it. Okay, I can swap the mimics off the butts. Oh dear. Excuse me. Alright. Which reskinned enemy do we have to fight this time? Oh, never mind. We get to fight Death from Castlevania.
It's a Grim Reaper!
Take me, Grim Reaper!
My sexy bone man!
So it's it's Death from Castlevania mixed with the purple Poe from the Forest Temple. I don't remember what her name was. You know, the real sad thing about our Digimon playthrough is that it had such good gems and moments. It just, because it was such a long RPG, just had to sit through so much to get to the good stuff.
Yep.
Which, for anyone at home who's wondering why we don't really play RPGs anymore, it's just because too much dead air in between. And then we just had, poor Flays had to just cut out so much combat to the point where it's like, okay, we're recording. We could have recorded, if we'd done, say, something like Hustle Cat, gotten like 6 episodes worth, but because of all the grinding and other crap we have to cut out, we only got half that, or even less sometimes. Especially if we get freaking lost.
Woo! The Wraith.
Why didn't you just turn undead at the beginning of the fight, man?
Because shut up.
No, you can't make me.
I have a spiky fruit on the top of my mace now.
Okay, but my serve is wrong button is bulbous and curved once again.
I'm sure there's medication for that.
Probably. You know, I'm not saying a person who uses a bastard sword couldn't just switch over to using a falchion or a scimitar or whatever this is called, but by the same token, they're different types of fighting styles, you know? So just kind of seeing him flip-flop between curved swords and more straight swords, I'm like, again, I'm not saying you couldn't do that in real life, but they do still use fundamentally different fighting styles and moves. Because curved swords, you can't really stab with them. And, well, they have one means a way of, you know, dealing damage, which admittedly does get you some more chopping power, but double-bladed weapons, you know, come to a point, you can stab with them, they're a bit more versatile, which I know some people have stated is actually a problem, because now you have to be thinking about even more moves you can pull off, rather than just the pointy end goes into the other men. Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Oh, look, it's a pretty princess who, with these graphics, she almost looks like a Falcon Knight from one of the early Fire Emblem games.
Yep.
Whips! Oh, so funny thing about Fire Emblem Three Houses, to date this video immediately, that just came out. Main character, he's got a whip sword.
Nice.
Well, okay, not always, but his equivalent of, like, Ragnall is, like, his special sword can go whip. Can whip it. Whip it real good. I don't know if I told you this, Sunshine, but, you know, after we broke, like, 500 Screebers, it seems like, admittedly, some of them are longtime fans, like Ivan commented on one of our Undertale videos, and I know Valentine has gone through and watched a lot of our old stuff, but we've started getting comments in some of our older videos, like, I think we got a random comment on the second Little Inferno video.
Oh, nice.
And the comment was, it's like, oh, I love the All-American Rejects reference. I'm like, what All-American Rejects reference? And I rewatched the video, I'm like, okay, I barely remember.
You saved me, but the Northern Castle has fallen to monsters. Will you lend us your aid?
It's like, since I barely remember listening to the All-American Rejects as a kid, It's been years. I'm like, I'm not actually sure what they're referring to in this case.
Yep.
Yeah, Little Inferno. Yeah, that was one of my least favorite games we've done for the channel, to be perfectly frank. I think just because, and again, no offense to Shawnee, and this is something, you know, Abby points out in the video, it's like, I was coming here expecting a nice, good, relaxing time, and this game was kind of twisted in its own sense, you know? Again, I'm not actually mad at Jesse for that, it's just...
Wasn't what you were expecting.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, it's like, if something's built up a certain way, and then when it ends up being the exact opposite, because she's like, this is a game I play to relax, and we were anything but relaxed playing that game. So I'm like, I was expecting something along the lines of, crap, I was about to say a Nintendo Land, but I'm like, no, we're never relaxed when we play that game, even if we do just play it for fun. You know, I wouldn't mind a new Nintendo Land for the Switch, but fleshed out a lot more.
Yeah.
Because, again, like... I liked the Wii U, but I do understand a lot of the criticisms of it. Especially since, like, yeah, it could have used a lot more. And the Switch is definitely the better console. But Nintendo Land, I'm like, this is a lot of fun. And I wouldn't mind if we could do something, but again, I know that it wouldn't be quite... You couldn't really do that unless you used multiple Switches. Because, okay.
Finish this battle?
You know what? I think we're almost near the end, so let's just keep going.
Okay.
But, yeah, unless you use multiple Switches... with everyone else playing on the TV with one Switch and the other person with it in their hands, I just don't see the mechanics that work so well in the first Nintendo Land being doable on the Switch, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I'll admit, I'm a sucker for any game that has local multiplayer. Because again, even though I actually have a soft spot for Halo, and I do appreciate online multiplayer, especially since not everyone has friends they can play locally, but I miss the days with local multiplayer, because, I mean, heck.
Woo! Royal Knights.
Yay! Oh, I should have left the grapes for you, sorry about that.
Ooh, no shield.
Dark Wizard. Yeah, this to me seems very end game-esque, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
I'm gonna have egg on my face when I turned out to be completely wrong, and we end up with a single, 30-plus minute episode for no reason in the middle of the playlist. Oh well. Blaze can make fun of me in the editing process if she feels, the time to do so. Granted, given that we're getting close to school coming back in, Flays just probably would probably just more insult me next time we see each other, and it's like, stop giving me crap to edit in. Oh, I thought I was you for some reason. Okay, I guess that is one benefit about everyone having to have their own console and their own screen with their own point of view with multiplayers nowadays, is you don't run the risk of confusing yourself with the person you're playing with. Because I remember the old-fashioned top-down shooters where you're in a plane or whatever flying forward. I always mix myself up with whoever I was playing with. Well...
Goodbye.
Sorry, you're all against our master. Gildas, Aldous... okay.
Ow.
I'm a wizard. Ow. So... Why is this called King of Dragons if we're fighting a wizard? Okay, we can't prove this is the actual final boss. It just seems highly likely at this point. You know, I should see if the old X-Men arcade game's available for digital download somewhere.
Ooh, yes.
That was a fun one. Oh, did you actually know? I found out. I always assumed that the X-Men arcade game was based on the old X-Men TV show, but it actually wasn't. It was actually based on a short X-Men project called Pride of the X-Men, which was made as kind of meant to be like a pilot to pitch an X-Men TV show, but wasn't picked up. However, the designs used in that short video were later tweaked and altered, and were then subsequently used in the actual X-Men TV show.
Nice.
One of the most infamous things about it, though, was, ironically enough, an Australian Wolverine, which is really funny because Hugh Jackman would eventually go on to play him, who's Australian.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well,
you know what? Okay, we're done. It looks like there's still more to this game. We'll be back next time. Bye-bye.